Eventually, by Leela Malfoy on AO3. Summary. Mike Wheeler took a summer job working at Scoops Ahoy before he goes off to college. He didn't expect to be working with Max Mayfield. When Mike finds out that the painting that Will had given him in the van a few years ago wasn't commissioned by Elle, he spirals. Who would have known that he would find his comfort in his red-headed frenemy? Or Mike has a really bad internalized homophobia and tweaks out because he is so in love with Will Byers. Episode 1, Chapter 1. How many times are you going to embarrass yourself before you realize that you suck, Wheeler? Max snickered, crossing her legs on the counter while adding a tally to the whiteboard. Mike wished Robin hadn't told Max about the whiteboard she used while her and Steve worked at Scoops Ahoy. It made everything so much more difficult for him, and so much more entertaining for the redhead standing across from him. Seriously, he was going crazy. He was really reconsidering his decision to get a summer job for some extra money before he went off to college in the fall, especially now that he worked with Max. She just loved to get on his nerves. I don't have the energy to deal with you today. Mike replied coldly, adjusting the ridiculous tailor's hat on his head. He wanted to curse Steve out for recommending him here. After Starcourt Mall fell a couple years ago, the public had gone into an outrage following the post-end of the world hysteria. Starcourt was a place everyone loved. Kids and teens came by to hang out during the blistering summer to watch movies, shop, and spend some time with their friends. Parents and other adults did their shopping and gossiped with others. Once Vecna had been defeated, not that the general public knew the real cause, the citizens of Hawkins had demanded a familiar brand of normalcy. 18 months later, the ruins of Starcourt had been rebuilt and transformed. It was all shiny and artificial again. All of the most popular shops had been restored, and although there was another public outcry for small business owners and stores in downtown Hawkins, it had opened more job opportunities for people who had lost their jobs during Vecna's reign. So Mike Wheeler had taken to working at Scoops Ahoy. And so had Max Mayfield. Max pointed to the whiteboard with her blue dry erase marker, pointing at the side with the most tallies. You suck. She completely ignored his complaints as she typically had. I just don't understand how you manage it. You've asked out and been rejected by 5 girls. Call yourself Sir Michael to a poor, unsuspecting customer, and you look constipated every time you go to take an order. You would be inspiring how dorky you are if I didn't feel like I was going to lose my lunch whenever you open your mouth. What away with words, Mayfield. Mike rolled his eyes at her. What did Max truthfully expect? That's what Mike wanted to know. He had dated one person. Elle was his one person. Elle didn't know anything else but his awkwardness. And now, going back into the dating game, after he had been broken up for a few years now, he felt way out of his depth. It just felt wrong. He supposed he always had that nagging feeling in his chest that made it seem that way, even with Elle. The kissing was something he was supposed to want and try to feel, except for the nauseous feeling at the pit of his stomach that threatened to burst. He didn't like when girls touched him. His shoulder, his body, it made him jittery and uncomfortable. It was also a whole new world for Mike, who honestly could never understand girls for the life of him, no matter how hard he tried. But girls were pretty. They were normal. See, Michael? See what happens? Max smirked at him. I do try. The bell on the counter rang from behind them, and Mike heaved a sigh, containing himself before turning around. Erica Schneider stood on the opposite side of the counter with her arms crossed and quirked bow. Mike? Ahoy, Erica, Mike said flatly, bracing his hands on either side of the register. What can I get for you today? Mm, let's see. Erica hummed, tapping her finger against her lip. Decisions, decisions. I think today I'll go for chocolate. What do you think? A classic. Mike deadpanned, scanning his friend's sister with boredom. She had been here, every day, without fail, insisting that Steve and Robin had given her the coupon of a lifetime for helping intercept evil Russians a few years prior. Free ice cream for life. At first, Mike had been stern and told her that since Steve and Robin don't work here anymore, that offer had expired. But Erica was nothing but stubborn and relentless. She wore him down rather quickly. He just accepted his fate. 3 scoops. Erica challenged, smirking up at him. Waffle cone with sprinkles. Coming right up. Mike sighed, abiding by her orders. He had whipped up the ice cream cone rather quickly, adding extra sprinkles for the youngest Sinclair. He knew how she liked her ice cream by now. He handed it off to her over the counter, and she nodded in thanks before hurrying off. Better for Xat's customer service, Wheeler. Max hissed, shaking her head in Flock's disappointment. She hovered the open marker over the You Suck category. Hey, 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 hey! Mike reeled around, catching her wrist and the marker in hand. That's not fair. You're just adding tallies because you feel like it. Maybe I'm adding them because you suck, Max said, her voice dripping with a toxic sweetness. That's not fair. You're just adding tallies because you feel like it. Maybe I'm adding them because you suck, Max said, her voice dripping with toxic sweetness. He dropped her wrist and narrowed his eyes. If you're so good at customer service, you go ahead and take a turn. I've been slicing ice cream for hours. It's your turn. Max sucked on her teeth before swinging off the counter, sliding her ridiculous sailor cap onto her own head. She swapped the marker out for the ice cream scooper, snatching it from his grip. Fine. Wheeler! Max called out while Mike was in the back. He was reading over some of the notes he began to plan out for the party's next D&D game. He just had some rough outlines now, but he was sure that this next campaign would be his best. He wanted to do one more big campaign before everyone went off to college. They were all separating. Dustin was going off to Georgia to study engineering. Lucas was staying in Indiana after getting a basketball scholarship. Max was staying too, taking a gap year. Mike knew. She didn't know what she wanted to do yet. Elle was staying behind to catch up on school. Joyce and Hopper both homeschooling her before she could go off to college, if that's what she decided she wanted to do. Will was going to New York to study art. And Mike didn't like to say he was following Will necessarily, but he had applied to a school in New York for their high ranked creative writing program. Not expecting to get in, but he did. So when Will had told him he was going to New York for his art degree, Mike had instantly accepted his offer. It worked out well. Very well, actually. They had decided to get an apartment together, the perfect distance between their 2 schools. They have been rebuilding their friendship, mending the weakening frames, and solidifying the groundwork. There was a lot of talking, a lot of apologies, mostly from Mike. They had particularly spent the majority of the 18th months before graduating together, some of which Will had lived in his house for. There weren't arguments, per se, but there was tension. Lots of it. There was so much to say and to unpack. All of it began with Mike, with the first Starcourt summer, the quickened dismissal of Will and his eagerness to keep a tight hold on his youth. I said I was sorry. It was a cool campaign, okay? We're not in the mood now. Words thrown in Will's face for something he always felt as if he needed defending to it. It's not my fault you don't like girls. the absence of letters, and dead phone lines. We're friends. We're friends. All the times Mike felt like he had to build a wall around himself, hide away. But he couldn't hide away from Will. Not really. He was the one person Mike could never really hide himself from. He was afraid that Will would begin to see the cracks in his foundation. He had already began to have a strange fascination for Will's lips, staring down at them every chance he got. The shared looks that lingered a little bit too long, that seemed likely innocent brushes of skin that made Mike's chest explode with fireworks. He was terrified Will would see it. And worse, that he'd have to see it too. Confront it. How his heart warmed at Will's laughter. How they had always seemed to understand each other, even when others thought they were crazy. When they were outcasts, freaks. Mike hid from it all, wielding their friendship like a weapon, using Will like a weapon. He wasn't proud of it. Not at all. He felt sick about it most days. He also felt sick about how much he wanted to grab Will Byers by the collar of his shirt and kiss him senseless. The freezer hummed loudly as Mike tapped the edge of his pencil against his notebook repeatedly, the smell of melting ice in the air, the muffled chattering of people on the other side of the door. He promises he knows that liking boys wasn't inherently wrong. He knows Will wasn't wrong for being gay. He wasn't messed up. There's nothing that needs fixing about him. To Mike, Will was perfect. But there was something lingering underneath Mike's skin, something that felt poisonous when he thought about liking boys. Bile would climb up his throat. His chest would constrict. He would think of his father, of Troy, the news. See, Michael? See what happens? Will's off in fairyland now, flying around with all the little fairies, all happy and gay. Rare cancer seen in 41 homosexuals. It would be easier to just forget about it all. To just get married to a woman, work a job that got him by, have a few kids, the whole white picket fence, basketball hoop at the top of the driveway, family dinner, old dear. That's a simple life, an easy one other people would kill for. Mike tapped his feet restlessly against the floor, his foot getting caught on the sticky floor before he peeled it off. When Will came out at the squawk, the only thing Mike could think of was how brave Will was. He ached to be that brave, to be who he wanted, but refused to be. He craved it. He wanted to pull Will aside and beg to borrow some of his bravery. But he didn't. He kept quiet, hiding a secret he had barely admitted to himself under lock and key. That would have invoked too many questions. Of course, there were some questions that Mike wanted answers to, like, what did Vecna show you? What boy did you like? Was it someone here? Who the hell was Tammy? Mike didn't get any answers to his questions that were brimming on the top of his tongue because when he finally got Will alone, he closetly fucked up. He apologized on the tower. He meant that. He meant that so much. If he had known that Will was gay, if he had made it easier for Will to tell him, Mike would have done anything to help him. Anything. He fucked up the apology too, though, wringing his hands as his words couldn't seem to piece together. But instead of asking his questions, he had answered Will's own in a way that haunted him, in a way that he would never forget. Friends? No thanks. Best friends. Mike groaned out loud, dropping his head against the table and letting his pencil fall with a clatter. That was one of those moments that he had lost sleep thinking about, tossing and turning with the unbearable weight of it. He'd debated getting up and picking up the blue marker himself and tallying a mark for every letter of that dreadful response. Wheeler! Max called louder. Mike sat up straight, remembering he forgot to answer her. Yeah? We have customers, idiots! Max screamed back. So much for customer service. And it's your turn to sliding ice cream. Mike let himself take one more peaceful breath to himself, preparing for the war he was about to face when he was out there. But before he could even breathe out, Wheeler! Fine! Mike's chair screeched unpleasantly, like nails on a chalkboard as he pushed himself back, marching towards the door. I'm coming! Hi, hello, I'm back. For those who tuned in, this is obviously a Byler fanfiction and not a My Hero Academia fanfiction. Don't leave though. You could stay and listen. You could stay and listen. Hi. New Stranger Things fandom people who also like Byler. Hi, hello, please stay for this announcement, or not announcement, but these notes. I take notes. I say notes at the end of all my videos. I'm a podficker. Hi, hello. I like to just say hi, because you know, this is a newer video attracting a wider audience. Stay, trust me, my notes are very enlightening. Okay, so first off, I want to, before I go on to the actual official notes, I want to talk about this artwork I'm using for my thumbnail. I commissioned it. I love this artist so much. They have done so many art for me. I love. I absolutely love their artwork. Their artwork is so cool, so nice. On the screen, if you're audio only right now, on the screen, I will have been shuffling a little bit of their other artworks that I have commissioned them. That is mine. Their Discord, is gonna be down in the description, and so is their TikTok. They are absolutely wonderful, and moving forward, I'm going to start transitioning, having them be in my thumbnails. I absolutely love them so much, so much. I haven't commissioned them in like over a month. I know it's a lot, but like, not that money's been tight, but like I've had to manage my money. I love this so much. I love their art so much. So I very much would appreciate you guys. Go check it out. Go see their artwork. Go check them out. Go, if you have time, you know, commission them. And if you don't have time, go to their TikTok. Send them love. Send them, you know, give the algorithm a little bit more of a push so that they could find other people who could also commission them, right? Like, I would love for them to get more commissions and stuff. I love them. Love them. I love their artwork. Okay. Little sponsor down. It's not really a sponsor because, you know, they're not paying me. I'm actually paying them. But it's fine. Back to the notes. I'd like to say thank you, Lila Malfoy, for letting me podfic this. I remember I was reading this before I went ahead and actually, you know, podficked it. It was, I think, the part that I decided I was going to podfic it, because for the Stranger Things fandom, when I read fanfiction, I want to read them first and then podfic them, because there is so much AI slob inside that I've been spoiled by what is the My Hero Academia fandom. I think in the My Hero Academia fandom, in the many years of reading, I've only ever found one AI slob, right? Ever. I have found 100 and something, or probably not 100, but like I found a lot, more than 10, that's for sure, because that's when I stopped counting. In the Stranger Things fandom, it is annoying. So I want to read before to make sure it's not AI, and also just to make sure it's a really nice and good story, because they tend to be, I don't know, like, I'm very picky about my Byler. It's not like in My Hero Academia, where my Hero Academia fanfictions, I could be very open-minded. I'm very picky when it becomes with my Byler. I think it's the trauma of being freaking queer-baited. If I see any comment about how I wasn't queer-baited, I swear to fucking God, you are not going to invalidate my emotions and other people's emotions, okay? Shut the fuck up. Anyways, as I was saying, I really, 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 really enjoyed this fanfiction. This fanfiction was so, 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 so good. Ugh, I loved the way that Lila Malfoy, expressed the internalized homophobia. The way he says, as Mike is internalizing, being like, girls are pretty, they were normal, but he doesn't really feel that attraction towards them, type of shit. And he remembers what his father said. See, Michael, see what happens. Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. When he started thinking about, how much he actually kind of liked Will or and stuff like that, and the internalized homophobia, the bile rising into, or specifically talking about how he's okay with Will being gay, like he's not like, that's not bad. He thinks about that line again, see Michael, see what happens, the Will's off in fairyland comment. Even this one didn't happen, at least I don't think so, I didn't see that in the show, but it was very prominent back in that time where news cases would the AIDS epidemic, where people didn't really know about stuff like that, and they were just spreading misinformation, and rare cancer seen in 41 homosexuals. That's all that, and how he thinks about how it would be easier to just be straight. The feeling of bile rising up his throat. I love that. 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 That is such a great representation of internalized homophobia. It's so good. It's so good. I'm loving this fic so far. It's a little underrated. It's a little underrated. It needs a little more love. So go ahead and send love. The link is gonna be in the description as always. Love, love, love. Hold up. Is that power outage just one of the tags I see? Lila Malfoy, are you spoiling us? I mean, first of all, I clicked into this fic because I specifically wanted a Scoops Ahoy Mike. I love, 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 love that Byler variation. I would love if we also had a Will working in that surfers or whatever it's called, but it's fine. A Scoops Ahoy, Mike and Max with Byler. Chef's kiss. I will take it. I did see, Lila Malfoy, that you do not, in fact, have other Byler fanfictions. That's fine. I could give you your time. If you want to write another one, I highly encourage it. I would love to also podfic that one. I just love Byler so much. It has been my consuming waking thought. I think I've consumed, I don't know how many words, but it's probably a lot. It's probably close to 500,000 words in the last 3 months on pure Byler. And that's with me having a job, by the way. So, I'm pretty sure if I didn't have a job, that number would be way higher. So, thank you for sitting with my TED Talk. This is really good. I really love this fic so far, and I really can't wait to see more of this. I love it so far. I love the way you portray Mike. It is so in character. Same with Max. I love this. I cannot wait for more. I really, really, really love your fic so far. I'm intrigued. I can't wait to read more. I'm a little devastated that it's such a small word count, but it's okay. It's okay. We will thrive. We will live, guys. We will live. Thank you so much for watching. Shit, what was my outro? Have a good day or night. No. Shit, I've lost it. No. As always, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a good day or night. Wait, no. As always, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a good day or night. Have a good night or day. As always, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a good day or night. Link to the Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching. I fucked that outro so bad.